5%. Amongst the OBCs, it's up 5%. Amongst Muslims, it's a massive consolidation at 82%. That's up 6% from the last time. Amongst the Yadavs, it's up 5%. So across communities, in Jharkhand, amongst the Christians, it's 56%, up 5% from the last time. The NDA picked up 36% of the vote share. So across communities in Jharkhand, the India alliance doing better. But as I said earlier, that the gap is so much, the margin, the base effect is so strong that even if the India alliance gains, Rajat Sethi, and even if the BJP loses, the gap is still too much. This is the Kante ki takkar that everybody was coming up with, which is what we were saying from the first day. When the numbers come out, it will not look as much as a Kante ki takkar because of the base effect, basic statistics.
So this is what the experiment that was being done by India Alliance is. On one side, it was Hindu consolidation by the BJP. They thought that the perfect antidote to Hindu consolidation is caste-based sentiment arousal. Tejasvi Yadav, we just discussed, he had this formulation called My Baap. The Muslim Yadav is there, but he came up with this Baap acronym, which is Agda, Pichhada, and the Mahila voters also in that. And he tried to see that, can I make a social engineering experiment to actually counter the Hindu resurgence happening in both Bihar and in Jharkhand. Jharkhand, I think, tribal consolidation behind India Alliance, partly because of the sentiment which came in because of the arrest of JMM chief, sort of impacted certain seats. For example, Khunti seat. Arjun Munda's own seat where he barely won. He won last time by barely, I think, 2,000 votes or so. Those seats will become very difficult for the BJP now. Even in Hazaribagh, they changed Jayant Sinha. And the new person who was given the ticket was still struggling to actually galvanize the support. And remember, Hazaribagh seat has 2 to 3 India Alliance MLAs within that seat, and it's not an easy seat. So some of the rumblings that we are seeing within Jharkhand is actually coming out and resulting in relatively small dent to the NDA. But this big question of religion versus caste will keep playing out in Uttar Pradesh as well.
Look at how the numbers, though, are stacked out. As we are going state by state, as of now, the India Alliance, if we ended the match today, would win by a small margin, 65 to 78, place 64 to 75. The truth is, we've only done 5 states. So before they celebrate, the truth of the matter is, at the end of 5 states, including 3 major India bastion states like Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the lead is only a marginal one for the India Alliance. Now we come to a state where, remember, there's a large tribal population again, and this is why I said India is diverse. Let's turn to Chhattisgarh, neighboring Jharkhand. But what are the numbers, Rahul, in Chhattisgarh? A state where just a few months ago the BJP scored a major upset victory, some would say, over the Congress party. Last time round they won 9 out of 11 seats here, the BJP. Look at that. They've gone up to 57%. So the same party which goes down in Jharkhand, large tribal population, actually goes up in Chhattisgarh by 6%. The Congress is down by 4%. So in Jharkhand, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha lifts the Congress. But take a look at Chhattisgarh, which was a Congress bastion or seen as a Congress bastion just a year ago. Others are 6%. How is this translating into seats? 20% difference. And take a look at this. You're seeing the first clean sweep in a way for the BJP in a state. 10 to 11. They could win all 11 in Chhattisgarh. Congress 0 to 1. Remember, former Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel contesting from Rajnandgaon. But the truth of the matter, Rahul, the same tribal voter who in Jharkhand may have gone with the JMM, here is choosing the BJP. And that's what makes Indian elections so fascinating.
Amongst the tribals, the Congress's vote share in Chhattisgarh is down 8%, down to 48. Amongst the Satnami Dalits, it's down 3% at 57. Amongst the tribals outside, amongst the Dalits, it's at 44, down 3%. Amongst the Sahu OBC community, it's at 19, down 6%. So if you go across the community criteria, except for Muslims where the Congress's vote share in Chhattisgarh has gone up, and they're very a small percentage at 86, but everywhere else their vote share has actually gone down. We want to call Pradeep Gupta in right now. Pradeep Gupta has come to our studios. We'll try and get a word in from him, because Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh are close to each other, yet they seem to be demonstrating very different voting intent and pattern. The BJP, whether it's the young, 55% vote share, up 5% from the last time.
Oh, the purple pussycat is here. making sure that he wears his purple. Yeah, he's the purple pussycat. Come on. Pradeep Gupta, who's now become a bit of a star. Look at it. Look at the way he comes. You see, he used to come earlier very quietly. Now he comes like a film star. He's come. Rajnikant come an hour late. Said, मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा, यहाँ जाऊँगा, सब करके आऊँगा. आइए, प्रदीप जी आ जाइए.
How is this poll, Pradeep, different from the last time that you polled? How have things changed? What's the difference between the 2024 post-poll study and your last poll?
So our methodology, processes and system, when I say process and systems, particularly selecting the right sampling on the ground, that's the first. And second is the monitoring and quality auditing process has increased substantially to the, I would say, 95% accuracy type, meaning if person is interviewing on the ground, in the back office, our people is listening and doing the course correction. If somebody is not provocative enough, my surveyor, they are immediately informing them. Also, we are maintaining the lat long, meaning distance between two interviews. The thumb rule is it should be minimum 4 to 5 household. So lat long is also measured that the first interview conducted and the second interview being conducted, the distance has to be minimum 50 meters. So if he is trying to do multiple interviews in one household, immediately it is pinpointed.
Okay, let's deal with the poll that we've put out so far. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, you're showing initial gains for the BJP. Some BJP wale also saying ye zyada to nahi de rahe, Pradeep ji?
नहीं, उसमें ज़्यादा यदि उनको लग रहा है तो बहुत अच्छा है.
No, because 2 to 3 seats in Kerala is what you're predicting for the BJP.
Yeah, in this time in Kerala, I'll tell you, Trishur.
Because the BJP has had many near misses in Kerala, so they're very worried about Kerala.
I know that. So Trivandrum, Trishur and Attingal, which is the outskirt seat of Trivandrum, these 3 seats are having very good prospect in favor of BJP, and also Patamtita, where the Anil Antony is contesting election, there also they are in good fight. So at this time, in fact, even in Trivandrum, continuously BJP is securing 31-32% vote share.
And how much is Shashi getting in your polls?
Shashi is contesting, close contest, I would say slightly 1 or 2 percentage
so
points.
It could change on count. It will really go down to the wire.
Yes, this seat for sure. Trivandrum for sure. Attingal and Trishur is relatively safe, I would say, for BJP.
And in Tamil Nadu, what are the seats where the BJP is into the fight?
Tenakasi and Trinelveli, south of south we call it, South Tamil Nadu, where BJP is contesting in these 2 seats.
So you're not big on Coimbatore, which is Annamalai seat?
Coimbatore is fight, but I think BJP is trailing in fight. And third seat is OPS seat, who is contesting independent as independent candidate in alliance with NDA.
I think what has happened in this poll, Pradeep, you can correct me if I'm wrong, as we've gone through 6 states so far, what we are seeing is that the India Alliance, especially in Jharkhand, Bihar, gaining vote share, but not translating all of that vote share into seats. Some of it into seats, but not all. The BJP, on the other hand, gaining in southern India, certainly in terms of vote share, and to some extent, minimum seats, both Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and to a larger extent in Karnataka because of the tie-up with the JDS. It almost seems, Pradeep, correct me if I'm wrong, we are seeing in 2019 state-by-state competition.
2014.
2024. 2024, we are seeing state-by-state competition of a kind we did not see to the same extent in 2019. Am I broadly correct?
Yeah, you are absolutely right, because things are tend to change in the sense Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where BJP successfully made the inroads, and in our vote share also, they are likely to secure double-digit vote share for sure. In Tamil Nadu and
Could there
Kerala.
be more, we are...
And Kerala, though, in fact, they are, in 20s.
Without revealing what's going to happen now, can we say, therefore, we are in for more shocks and we are in for a real good, strong IPL, a very exciting, super exciting election?
I can comment and say that super excitement is ahead.
Super excitement is still ahead?
Yes, it's still ahead.
Wonderful. Because
it depends what is excitement for you.
Okay, for me, excitement is an election that goes, well, much closer than many people would have hoped. So that's what I would like to see. But the next state, Rahul, we are going to is Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, so 29 seats here. Remember, the interesting thing about Madhya Pradesh is that there is this one seat which has virtually been a Kamalnath fiefdom, Chhindwara. So what happens there? That's something to look at. Let's take you through the Madhya Pradesh numbers according to the Access My India Today post-poll study. Madhya Pradesh seems to be turning into another Gujarat of sorts according to this poll, where the BJP is predicted to bag 61% of the total votes, the Congress 33%. When you've got a gap as hefty as that, it essentially means a clean sweep. As was the case in the assembly elections that happened a few months ago, even now, the BJP romping home in style. 28 to 29, which is the one seat, Pradeep, which you think, when you say 0 to 1 for the Congress, which is the one seat that you think they're in with a chance?
I think Sindhi, where the voter turnout was substantially down to 49%, and Gwalior. These are the two seats where Congress and BJP in fight. Otherwise, I don't see any.
And of course, it's his home
Chhindwara,
state.
no.
So Chhindwara could well now be going away from the grasp of Kamalnath and family. Madhya Pradesh, Rahul, is like Chhattisgarh, bordering Chhattisgarh. We saw a sweep just now, Pradeep predicting in Chhattisgarh. Let's look at the numbers for Madhya Pradesh. Big state coming up. NDA 61%, up 3. So when we look at Bihar, Jharkhand, we see NDA going down in terms of percentage and losing seats. Madhya Pradesh, on the other hand, they are actually going up. And this is, remember, in an election with no Pulwama, Balakot. Clearly, Madhya Pradesh emerging as a BJP fortress. India Alliance just 33% in Madhya Pradesh. How is all of this translating into seats in the state of Madhya Pradesh? 28 to 29, clean sweep. The BJP, as per the Access My India poll, could have a clean sweep. 29 out of 29 is also a possibility. Just one seat where the India Alliance, Siddhi, as explained there by Pradeep Gupta. But this is where now the India Alliance has reached the hundreds. As we've entered this critical central India, Rahul, like we saw in 2019, the BJP then pulls ahead once you enter central India. Madhya Pradesh, much introspection, Kamalnath and family. You can't be traveling outside the country. You have to focus on your election on the ground. Several questions will be raised for the Congress. They changed their party president. Jitu Patwari took over. It's not worked. Look at the number of congressmen, Rahul, who've left the Congress to join the BJP in the last 6 months. The BJP is dominant in Madhya Pradesh.
Let's take you through the hot seats of Madhya Pradesh. There are two in particular we're looking out for. One of them is the seat of Chhindwara, and then there is Guna. So I'll start with Guna first, which is the seat where Jyotiraditya Scindia comes from. He had a bereavement in the family very recently. This poll seems to suggest that Jyotiraditya Scindia is very comfortably placed in the seat of Guna. He's up against Yadendra Rao of the Congress. Let's now come to Chhindwara, where there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Nakul Nath. In this hot seat, the Cool Hawa seems to be suggesting that Bunty Vivek Sahu of the BJP is going to beat Nakul Nath by a mammoth margins. This is not a tight fight. It's a very, very extensive victory for the BJP in Chhindwara. So the BJP not being able to make up for the losses. You're trying to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Rahul Verma, because for years, Rahul, we saw Gujarat as the banker state of the BJP under Prime Minister Modi. Can we add now Madhya Pradesh, Rahul Verma, to it? Has Madhya Pradesh, like Gujarat, become a dominant state for the BJP?
Absolutely, no doubt about
Why?
this.
Why? What's changed?
The reason BJP has been in power in Madhya Pradesh now almost 25 years, barring that one and a half year. Second, in Lok Sabha election, they have been consistently getting above 50% vote share. And third, both in assembly elections, I think there are now more than 80 or 90 odd seats where BJP had won 3 times consecutive. So there are pockets where BJP hasn't lost. And even in Lok Sabha elections, now you can see at least for 4 or 5 elections, there are 15 odd seats which they have not lost.
And it comes back to my larger point, Rahul, if you remember we made the other day. There were 178 seats of a direct contest between BJP and Congress last time. BJP won 166, Congress won 12. These are the seats. 29 seats. If you're going to be wiped out, that's the Congress is the Kamzor Khadi.
But Rajdeep, I've travelled extensively in Madhya Pradesh, and this is one state which I said the Gujaratization is happening in this state. This is where you see the resonance of the Ram Mandir, which you possibly don't see in other states. People, the first thing they will tell you, Mandir Banaya. Number two, this is where you'll actually see a Modi wave, which you possibly might not pick up another state, but you will see both of them here.
You know, it's interesting because there was all this expectation. Gwalior, Guna would see a tough contest. There were, you know, I was being told. Yeah, but you know, Preeti said there are 4 or 5 tough contests. Jitu Patwari told me there are 7 or 8.
No.
You know, tough contest means you are stuck at 35%.
Rajdeep, we must remember one thing, that the Madhya Pradesh is the original BJP state, which is where Sundarlal Patwa came much before Gujarat.
Okay, I'm told that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is speaking to us. Let's listen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, contested from Vidisha, the BJP romping home in style in our poll in Madhya Pradesh. Let's listen to the former Chief Minister who's likely to be a minister in the next Modi government.
इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद है मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान। इंडिया टुडे एक्सेस माई इंडिया का जो एग्जिट पोल है वो सामने आ गया है। शिवराज जी, एक बार फिर से मध्य प्रदेश में ज्यादातर सीटें बीजेपी के हाथ में जाती दिख रही हैं। 28 से 29 सीटें भाजपा जीत सकती है, ये आज तक इंडिया टुडे एक्सेस माई इंडिया के सर्वे में आ गया है।
29 में से 29 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतेगी। हम और जीतेंगे भी भारी अंतर से, हम सामान्य अंतर से नहीं जीतेंगे। अंतर देख के भी लोग आश्चर्यचकित होंगे, बड़े भारी अंतर से भाजपा जीत रही है।
आपका भी उम्मीदवारी है, कैंडिडेचर है, तो विदिशा सीट पे भी बातें हो रही हैं, मार्जिन बहुत बड़ा होने वाला है।
निश्चित तौर पर जीतेंगे ही और भारी समर्थन मिलेगा।
सबकी नजरें लेकिन शिवराज जी छिंदवाड़ा सीट पे भी है, नकुलनाथ वहां से सांसद भी हैं, इस बार उम्मीदवार भी हैं। आप लोग दावा कर रहे हैं 29 सीटें जीतने का। हालांकि जो सर्वे एग्जिट पोल आया है इंडिया टुडे एक्सेस माई इंडिया का, उसमें अभी भी एक संभावना कांग्रेस के लिए भी दिख रही है। क्या वो छिंदवाड़ा सीट ही है, आपको लग रहा है ऐसा?
छिंदवाड़ा सीट भारतीय जनता पार्टी बड़े अंतर से जीतेगी। पूरे मध्य प्रदेश की जनता के मन में केवल मोदी जी हैं, बाकी और कुछ जनता ने देखा ही नहीं।
दक्षिण के राज्यों में भी कई जगहों पे अगर हम देखें तो सर्वे बता रहा है एग्जिट पोल की, वहां पे भी भाजपा जो है आती हुई दिख रही है कई राज्यों में।
नहीं, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है। मैं पहले भी कहता था कि दक्षिण में भारतीय जनता पार्टी अप्रत्याशित परिणाम लेके आएगी। हम शानदार सफलता प्राप्त करने जा रहे हैं। यहां तक कि केरल और तमिलनाडु जैसे राज्यों में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को सफलता मिल रही है।
So Madhya Pradesh becoming the new Gujarat of sorts for the BJP. The BJP romping horn expected to bag all the seats of the Madhya part of India. I want to come now to Rajasthan, where we've been reporting from the first day that there is turbulence in the air for the BJP. Even the BJP realized that the caste arithmetic in Rajasthan seemed to have become highly tricky. How does all that translate into votes and seats? So in the desert state of Rajasthan, the Congress expected to back 37% of the votes, the BJP 51%, the others 8%. But the problem is not that 14% gap in vote share. The problem is when you get down to the seats, in several of the seats, the BJP has faced very serious desert storms. How does this translate into seats in this desert state of Rajasthan? The Congress could get between 5 and 7 seats. In Rajasthan, the BJP between 16 and 19. This is a state, Pradeep Gupta, that the BJP had swept the last time round, 5-7, and interestingly, in a direct face-off with the BJP. So what happened in Rajasthan which did not happen in a state like Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh?
So in Rajasthan, actually, there is a good context in pockets, particularly the seat selection of BJP, Ganganagar, for example. You know, this is the Dalit SC reserve seat. There is also a good, Dalits are not happy at all with the new candidate. So they are also, like this, you will find in multiple cases, there is a local contest, local factor in Rajasthan. And in Rajasthan, you know, if Dalit, Adivasis, Muslim, and most importantly this time, Beniwal aligned with Congress, took the lots of Jat votes into Congress fold.
This is really, it shows that if the Congress gets its strategy right, and if there is anti-incumbency on the BJP side, they can convert that into votes. It's not impossible.
You're right there, but one of the main issues was candidate selection, Rahul. On key seats, the BJP has repeated candidates. They thought they're going to go in with the Modi wave. Last time, this was the 57% that the BJP had. So, key seats like Jodhpur, I'll give you an example, Kota, these are all sitting, go ahead.
And what had happened, the chief minister also coming from a Brahman community. So Rajput is on the other side than the Dalits.
They managed to localize the election, Rajdeep. 25 seats, it's a seat-by-seat election in Rajasthan. And what's fascinating is how quickly it turns from one seat to the other. The issues are very, very different.
You only have to contrast what happened in Rajasthan Assembly with what happened in Madhya Pradesh Assembly. Rajasthan Assembly, if you look at the numbers, it was literally a kate ki takkar. 10 or 12 seats here or there could have made all the difference. Rajasthan has been seen as a state where caste plays a much greater role than it plays in most other in central Indian states compared to Madhya Pradesh. You've seen Meenas, you've seen in Jats, you've seen in
which they never vote. The Jats, Meenas and Gujars have never voted in the past. So for the Congress, which Rahul was saying, this is a plus. They've managed to do a social engineering of sorts where you've got the Gujars, the Meenas and the Jats to vote together in pockets like Dholpur, Karoli, Bharatpur, where it will impact.
Yeah, but it's not so much the Congress getting its social engineering right. It's also the BJP with its candidate selection.
Yes, exactly.
Please appreciate.
Both of them
the elections are not won by one side.
I just said
you see,
both of them together.
we go by Jo Jeeta Wo Sikandar. It doesn't happen like that. The fact is, in many states, and the BJP is finding this even in Bihar, sometimes you give candidates tickets in the belief that Modi ke naam pe jeet jayega.
That's what they
Modi
did
ke
here.
naam pe you cannot. This election is showing in some parts, and Rajasthan is a good example. Purely on the name of Modi, if you don't choose the right candidates, there were candidates in some of the constituencies in Rajasthan who were replaced at the last moment. You've got a chief minister who, as has been pointed out, is not exactly pulling the entire party together. These are issues on the ground, and the Congress has some reason to smile in Rajasthan. But a senior leader, by the way, told me, I will change my name if the Congress doesn't get 8. Sir, you will have to change your name on the 4th. If you don't get 8.
But Rajdeep, just look at what you're saying. The Congress is about 1/3 of the BJP in Rajasthan, and you're saying they've got reason to smile. They're still 1/3. I mean, they're 1/3. So it's about relativity, right? You could either be 0 or you could be a good loser, but you're still a loser. So that's not really adding up to very much. The inner head-to-head fight, they have to be able to beat the BJP. Yeah, Shankar.
This whole election has been Congress wins if it wins 100 seats, BJP wins if it wins 300 seats. This has been the positioning of the entire election. The Congress needed to lose less and the BJP needed to win more.
In particularly Rajasthan, it's happened as a midterm referendum where the Rajasthan government is concerned. Because at that point of time, it was a tight election. A lot of people, the anti-incumbencies got carried forth.
Well, it's just 3 months. You can't call it a midterm referendum.
It seemed like that on ground, Rajdeep. When you were talking to people, there was anti-incumbency other than just caste calculation.
But how can it be midterm? The government just got started.
It's a referendum.
Let's take a look at what's happening in the hot seats of Rajasthan. I'm going to pick Barmer. Barmer is important because Barmer is a seat where you've got Ravinder Singh Bhati contesting as an independent. And he's up against Kailash Chaudhary of the BJP. He's also up against Umed Ram Beniwal of the Congress. According to the Hawa in the seat of Barmer, Ravinder Singh Bhati, who originally comes from the BJP stock, there were local disagreements. They couldn't keep him on board. He walked away. And what it shows to me, Rajdeep, is how quickly faces can emerge, voices can emerge, ideas can emerge, which are beyond your control. And I think Ravinder Bhati, especially if he wins in Barmer, reflects that. All the senior BJP leaders I spoke to, they were so rueful of the fact that they let Bhati go, that they couldn't keep him. They tried to bring him back, but it was too late by then. In some senses, not really like a Hardik Patel kind of phenomena, but in that sense, getting crowds, potentially winning a seat and showing how quickly things can slip out of your hand.
Preeti went and traveled there, so you can tell us a bit about Ravinder Bhati.
Are you sure I can talk?
Yes, but let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Let's not, we should be focused. Without this thing, let's be focused. The Congress, BJP made certain mistakes in candidate selection, but tell us about Ravinder Bhati.
Well, I actually think the Congress could get an upper hand because Ravindra Bhati could take away certain votes. But yes, he's a phenomena where
what is he like?
Barmer is concerned.
What is he like?
He's young. He's 26-year-old. He's pulling in the votes. He's coming in with only one contention, which is, I'm going to take your local issue. So while you have a Kailash Chaudhary, who's a sitting minister from the Bharatiya Janata Party, talking about Ram Mandir, you have this young man who says कि मैं आपको पानी लेके आऊंगा. He's talking about कि बारमेर में पानी नहीं है, and it is also transferring to the the sentiment to the neighboring constituency of Jodhpur, where you have the Jal Mantri sitting there as an incumbent MP, Gajendra Shekhawat, and people are actually complaining that there's no water. So there's the localized election that this man has fought is resonating on
ground. So this is what happens when you have a very, very young candidate, a 26-year-old. He doesn't give big bhashans. He gives these bite-sized bhashans in a corner meeting, and he moves to the next spot, and he can cover ground far quickly than what incumbents have been able to do. Another thing, he is a Rajput, and the other two, Congress and BJP, are both Jats. So there is massive consolidation of Rajput votes going in one direction and the Jat division of votes.
And I think to ideally vote for the BJP on this.
Exactly. So this is the reason why Bharti is actually
I think broadly what we are seeing, where the opposition is able to localize the election and put it on local factors, they have more than half a chance. But in a state like Madhya Pradesh, they've not been able to do that, and therefore the Modi factor looms large. That, I think, is the only hope so far that I can see for the opposition at the moment. Or you have a young leader like Tejasvi Yadav who's able to take the battle in a state like Bihar into the opposition camp.
What will Ravinder Bharti do if he wins, and once he wins? Will he stay as an independent or will he come back to the BJP? That's something to look at as well, because he comes from the BJP stock, and therefore if he goes back, net-net is just a local ego battle that's been resolved in this election, but ultimately he potentially could still go back.
That's right. Let's go to the next state.
Let's now go to Gujarat and take you, there's really no surprise there. In Gujarat, it's one-way traffic. Till the time Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on the ticket, voters in Gujarat have said that they want to vote only one way. 63% of the votes flying in the political firmament of Gujarat are leaning towards the BJP, 30% for the Congress. And when there's a 33% gap in vote share, it translates into seats in only one way. A massive victory for the BJP, projected to bag all 26 seats. आप ये हर बार एक सीट छोड़ देते हो. Which is that one seat which you think in Gujarat is seeing some kind of a takkar?
Sabarkantha or Bharuch
are the two seats where there could be a contest.
There is hardly any contest, but if it is their contest, it is in Sabarkantha.
This is Pradeep Gupta just being careful.
See, there were four. You see, this is the problem with the opposition, and I'll give you the 5 seats. There was Patan, Sabarkantha, Banaskantha, Bharuch, and Anand. Of these, Patan was the one where they thought they had half a chance, because even in the wave, height of the wave 2 years ago, when BJP wins 151 of the 182 seats, the Congress won 4 out of the 7 assembly constituencies in Patan. Banaskantha, Sabarkantha have a large tribal population. And you've got Bharuch, where the Aam Aadmi Party had its Chotu Wasawa, a strong candidate. But the fact is, the Modi factor is overwhelming. I mean, am I going to vote for where I cannot localize an election is Gujarat. You see, how am I going to localize an election when you're voting for the Prime Minister who's a Gujarati? This is the challenge that the opposition has faced in states like Gujarat. Preeti spoke about the Ram Mandir factor playing out in Madhya Pradesh. In pockets of Rajasthan, you've been able to localize, and therefore you might get some small rewards. But these are the banker states, Rahul. Add 11 seats of Chhattisgarh, 29 of Madhya Pradesh, and 26 of Gujarat. 66 seats, it's virtually 66-0. That's why the gap has doubled. In the space of the last half hour, NDA has gone to 143 to 167. India is at 70 to 87.
Is so this the shock you were talking about?
Sorry?
Is this the shock you were talking about?
No, I'm going to talk about the shocks that are still going to come. This election is not over. This election is showing at the moment that the BJP is holding on to its own seats, but is also gaining a bit in the south.
You know, Pradeep Gupta likes to challenge conventional wisdom. One of the states where he's challenging wisdom is Goa, where Pradeep seems to be suggesting a tighter contest than what we'd anticipated initially. Remember, this is a state where the BJP had bagged both the seats last time round. It's traditionally been a tighter fight, but that hasn't been the case of late. So let's take you through what's happening in that lovely state of Goa. Many people are watching. This may be their retirement plan. So let's take you through what's happening in the coastal state of Goa. There are 2 seats there. The BJP expected to bag 52% of the vote share, the Congress 43%. Let's see how this translates into seats. The interesting thing that Pradeep Gupta is predicting is that South Goa could potentially go to the Congress. Are you sure? Pradeep, yeah, हर चीज आप गूगली कर देते हो. In Kerala, you're giving 3 to the BJP. BJP people are messaging to say, is Pradeep sure? Now you're saying South Goa will go away from the BJP?
There is no googly in South Goa for sure this time, and Congress is likely to win as per our poll.
Okay,
there
let me now tell you the story of South Goa.
And
there's a lesson.
Party and Congress this time contesting together here.
It's very interesting. Last time, the Congress also won South Goa. This time, the Congress replaced its candidate. The BJP decided to go with a young woman candidate, Pallavi Dempo, from the Dempo family. Now, what has happened here is that you've got the BJP traditional voters who are hoping that a local from their Karyakartas would be given. You brought in Pallavi Dempo, you know, the BJP wanted to give a woman candidate. Now, I still think she has a chance. My reports from the ground, unlike Pradeep's reports, suggest there's a tight contest in South Goa. The only benefit in South Goa for the India Alliance, AAP and Congress are on the same side. So the entire Christian vote, this is an area with a Christian population over 25%, almost 30%. Therefore, if that consolidates, I only need a minority of the majority to vote for me. So that may have happened, which may have made South Goa tighter. So this is what the India Alliance should have done carefully in all the states. Looked at local candidates, made sure that you work together. And one thing I must say, AAP and Congress have worked together on the ground. Unlike in several other parts, they've actually made an effort to work out. So this could be at least some scare, but Goa is not going to change a national election, but it's something for them to hold on to.
Let's see what's happening in the seat of Gandhinagar. Now, this is hot only because the Home Minister stands from that seat. In terms of vote share, he's actually hoping to increase the margin of his victory. On the hot seat, the cool hawa seems to be blowing in favor of Home Minister Amit Shah, who seems to be romping home in style against Sonal Patel of the Congress. And there is a bit of a wager going on amongst BJP leaders from Gujarat about who wins with the biggest majority. But the problem there is Surat was unopposed, and in Indore, the Congress candidate joined the BJP, so that's 13-odd lakh votes straight, which would be then the record that gets set for the maximum margin of victory in any seat. Of what we've covered so far, Rajdeep, what looks most exciting? Jharkhand? Rajasthan?
If I was from the NDA Alliance, I think I'm excited by what I've seen in Kerala.
And Tamil Nadu as well.
And what I've seen to some extent in Tamil Nadu, but certainly Kerala. I expected Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat for a sweep. If I'm India Alliance, the only good news I've got at the moment is Bihar and Jharkhand. That's where I'm getting my...
Rajasthan.
You know, as you said, 3 to 5 out of 25 is clutching to straws. I think Shankar put it wonderfully. For the Congress, agar main 100 run banau na, I'm going to have a celebration. And BJP is aiming for 300. Just think of the scale of the two main parties. BJP is targeting 300 seats and the Congress is targeting 100. Yeah, Rahul, that seems the problem.
Yeah, but that's the Congress game in this election.
What is the Congress game?
If they manage to touch 100,
yes,
large number of those seats are going to come at the expense of BJP, and then BJP is going to be below 270. That is what Congress has been...
But अभी तक वो हुआ नहीं है. छत्तीसगढ़ में नहीं हुआ, मध्य प्रदेश में नहीं हुआ, गुजरात में नहीं हुआ. In fact, it's conforming to what I've been saying. Direct contest BJP Congress. BJP is winning 90% of them. Even Karnataka. Even in Karnataka, where you have a government, you are losing.
True. And that has what has happened in 2014 and 2019. BJP winning more than 90 to 95% of seats against the Congress. So in the opposition camp, Congress remains the weakest link.
Preeti, what has stood out for you and what has been according to you so far? And we're not even halfway through. What, according to you, is the standout point at the moment?
100% Kerala. If the BJP is winning a seat in Kerala, I would think that is quite a shocker because nobody quite expected it, and that'd be great news coming in for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Are you surprised would the Congress be disappointed, particularly with Karnataka? Would they be disappointed with Rajasthan? You went there, you traveled. Would they be disappointed with the Madhya Pradesh that they're being blanked out?
Well, I think they wouldn't be disappointed with Rajasthan. I think they expected between 5 to 6. We're giving them about 7. So I think they'd be happy with what they take from Rajasthan. Where the state of Madhya Pradesh is concerned, the Congress was hoping they'd be able to get in about 3 to 4 seats, which hasn't quite happened, at least by the virtue of what our numbers look like. Gujarat, they were looking at a Banaskantha and Bharuch, the seat that Aam Aadmi Party is standing on, Chaitar Wasawa. So, those were the couple of seats they were banking on, but there were 1 or 2 here and there, Rajdeep. What I would think they'd be disappointed in was they were hoping to get in more from Bihar as well. because that's what the sense where you speak to the leaders, they were thinking they'd get more than what they've got from Bihar.
So, if this is a 20-over match, we are actually only at the moment in over number 6. Remember, India's two biggest states yet to come, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. 128 seats between these two states.
They've lost Karnataka in the power play.
They've lost Karnataka already in the power play. Sudhir, is that something that has surprised you, that the Congress so far, as per Axis Mind, are not even in double digits in Karnataka?
Yes, Karnataka definitely would be a huge disappointment if the numbers put out by Pradeep Gupta actually hold on Tuesday, because Karnataka is one state they thought they would do much better than they did 5 years ago.
Rajat, what's the best news for the BJP coming so far?
I think they would be happy that all this khatakat nautanki is over. Finally, they would be thinking that, there is a limit to how much you can actually literally go out and buy the votes. I mean, if this is the scenario and these are the projections, BJP is actually going way past their number. So I think BJP would be happy that they didn't have to recklessly go out with freebies. And here the parties who did that did not end up gaining anything. So it's good economics which is winning. That should be something which should be giving smiles to the BJP.
Okay. Let's come, though, to a state or a union territory which a number of people are interested in. The battleground state of Delhi. So much has happened in Delhi over the last few months. Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister, will be going back to jail tomorrow. How is he going to see these numbers now? As per our poll, India Alliance 44%, NDA 54%, 10% gap between India and the NDA, and others are 2%. So in Delhi, a solid 10% gap. Not as much as it was, remember, in 2019, but then the Congress and AAP were contesting separately. How is this translating into seats? 6 to 7, a near clean sweep, if not a clean sweep, for the NDA in Delhi. They had a clean sweep in 2014, clean sweep in 2019, and if Pradeep Gupta's numbers are right, and we still hope that Pradeep Gupta is bang on, he is predicting a clean sweep in Delhi. So this is not so good news for the Aam Aadmi Party alliance with the Congress, as these numbers are showing 0 to 1 in Delhi and a solid 10% vote share difference. Pradeep, 7 out of 7. Why are you always giving this 0 to 1, whether it's a Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh? You want to play safe, or what is it?
No, what's that one seat जो फंसी हुई है?
फंसी सीट इज चांदनी चौक एंड न्यू दिल्ली, क्योंकि दोनों जगह पे मुश्किल होता है सर्वे करना.
न्यू दिल्ली ऑल्सो.
न्यू दिल्ली ऑल्सो, बट चांदनी चौक थोड़ी सी ज्यादा क्लोज कॉन्टेस्ट है देन न्यू दिल्ली. Otherwise, all 5 seats are safe.
Chandni Chowk, of course, is a seat with a large minority population,
yes.
A large trader population.
Yes.
It has in JP Agarwal of the Congress, a strong candidate that the Congress has. Preeti, you follow Delhi very closely. Are you surprised when you see that in a Chandni Chowk is possibly the only constituency where this alliance has a chance? What's happened to the AAP and Congress on the ground?
But, Rajdeep, it's actually a misnomer that Chandni Chowk is a minority-dominated seat.
I didn't say minority, I said large numbers.
It's actually a Hindu-dominated seat. But, I would think the Aam Aadmi Party would be watching these numbers very closely. Because if you remember, the entire campaign has been Jail Ka Jawab Vote Se. So is this going to be now a referendum on sympathy? Did Arvind Kejriwal get the sympathy? Because they have actually gone to the voters on the plank of Jail Ka Jawab Vote Se. Ab vote to as per our survey nahi mil raha hai, because it's only 0 to 1. So what happens with Arvind Kejriwal here? What would also be interesting is how it reflects in a state of Punjab where Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. This is his toughest hour. If these numbers translate, that it does mean that Arvind Kejriwal hasn't been able to garner that kind of sympathy that he would have hoped to.
So far, Rashid Kidwai, it's bad news for the Congress virtually in every part of the country. They can only clutch onto straws in Bihar, in Rajasthan. But look at this, you tie up with the Aam Aadmi Party, which was your adversary for all these years. It's not working in a general election, certainly. What is the messaging that's going on?
For the opposition, that Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi can come together and yet they come out short. If you look at the community-wise breakup, virtually in all communities, the BJP enjoys a hefty lead over the India alliance. Now, amongst the Muslims, massive consolidation quite naturally. Amongst the Dalits, you've got the India alliance head. But look at the more dominant communities like the OBCs and the general caste and the others. You've got the BJP with a very big lead. It just kind of makes the opposition feel, oh my God, what do we do? Rahul Gandhi and Kejriwal can get together and yet get hammered at the
Rashid, why don't you reflect on the Congress? Because the Congress seems to have, as Preeti said, AAP has to reflect, but so does the Congress.
I just want to come in with one quick thing before Rashid comes in. The fact is, what has happened, or actually what didn't happen on ground, has been vote transfer, which both parties realize. The vote hasn't transferred from the Aam Aadmi Party to the Congress or vice versa, and you can see that on ground because they need to fight a state election later. They can't seem to be supporting the candidate on ground.
Rashid.
During the break, I had a conversation with the Congress leader, and they were saying that, look, there are just too many, close seats, and they all seem to be going in favor of BJP. They think it will not, result in that. For instance, in Delhi, they think there are 4 seats where Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, Mahbub Mishra seat included, are in very close, contest. So, law of averages would apply. They say that perhaps this survey is not reflecting law of averages.
Rahul Verma, you wanted to enter.
I think there are 2 points. One, in Delhi, BJP, every seat, the margin was more than 2.5 lakh, right? So that basically is a very, very large margin to swing. Second, I think BJP has changed candidates in 6 out of 7 constituency, trying to take away all kinds of anti-incumbency sentiments that might have developed against many of their MPs. And third, I think Congress and AP in Lok Sabha elections, so even when AP was winning Vidhan Sabha election, Delhi is the classic example of split ticket voting. AP in Vidhan Sabha and BJP in Lok Sabha.
That's right, because, if you look at these numbers, actually the Aam Aadmi Party had even lower numbers in 2019 Lok Sabha. In the Vidhan Sabha is where they dominated. So you've got this split ticket taking place across the country, and you've got the Modi factor. We've also got the heat wave factor. Let's give you our hot seat, our cool hot seat from Delhi. Remember, all these 7 seats were looked at very closely. Delhi gets a disproportionate attention, some believe. But let's take a look at which are the seats in Delhi which were closely looked at in Pradeep's poll and what they're saying at the moment. This is our cool Hava one, Kanhaiya Kumar versus Manoj Tiwari in Northeast Delhi. As of now, we are predicting Manoj Tiwari ahead. Am I right, Pradeep Gupta, in this hot seat at the moment?
You are absolutely right. हवा नहीं AC चल रहा है इस सीट के ऊपर मनोज तिवारी के फेवर में.
AC चल रहा है.
You think he's
winning comfortably?
No, he is not close contest in this seat.
Yeah, not at all.
But that's really where it was unfair, because when we spoke to Kanhaiya Kumar, he said, I wish, if I'd got Begusar, I had spent some time there, I had some kind of a network there. They didn't give me that seat. They've sent me here with so few days to be able to mount a campaign.
Perpetually considered as an outsider. The state unit only was not backing him. He was seen as a paradrop leader. And all this dhapli politics, it doesn't work on the ground. No? You need organizational might to be able to have people on the booth.
Hot seat Chandigarh. Cool, hot fan. That's what it's called. It's our cool, hot seat. And the hot seat is Chandigarh. Manish Tiwari versus Sanjay Tandon. It's quite a battle there. It's a close fight again. Remember, this is the unusual nature of it. In Chandigarh, you've got the AAP and Congress fighting together. But in Punjab, they're fighting against each other. There was a Congress spokesperson who was doing a press conference in Chandigarh where he had to talk about how AAP and they were close buddies, went to Jalandhar 2 hours later and said how AAP is a party that must be voted out. That's the problem, as the spokesperson mentioned.
From Grace, from 40% to 18%, 42% is what they had in the assembly election.
This could be huge if these numbers hold.
It just shows how the ground is shifted from underneath.
Bhagwan Maan just sent me a message. He said, I will also come on your show and I will prove how your Pradeep Gupta has got all his numbers wrong. So we'll wait to see what happens in Punjab on Tuesday. Punjab is a tough state in a quadrangular. It's not easy to predict numbers in a quadrangular state. Let's turn from there to a fascinating state of Punjab, because this is a state, perhaps the only state in the country, where we have a quadrangular fight. 4 parties, each of whom at different times have dominated, well, the BJP in the center, but the other 3 in Punjab, all of them were fighting independently. How is Punjab voting? What is the Axis My India poll saying for the battleground state of Punjab? Take a look at these numbers at the moment. There is the Punjab farmer coming in. The BJP getting 26%. Impressive considering where the BJP was when they were a junior partner to the Akalis. The Congress 31%, AAP 18%, and this is a turnaround. Remember here, both the AAP and the Congress are fighting each other. AAP won 92 out of 117 seats in the Vidhan Sabha just a couple of years ago. That has changed. The Congress has dominated the AAP in their direct fight, in a way, in Punjab. How is this translating into seats? Where is that tractor now headed in Punjab? Well, the tractor is headed in the direction of the Congress. The Congress party has struggled in several parts of the country, but not so much in Punjab. 13 seats, Congress leading in 7 to 9, AAP 0 to 2, BJP 2 to 4. So maybe in some of the cities in particular, in Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur, maybe possibly Ludhiana, there is a possible consolidation of the Hindu voter behind the BJP. But the real message here is for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. Dominated it 2 years ago and now struggling. This is a real turnaround, Rahul Verma. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party, much like the Congress, is having a very bad day in the office. The Congress can at least clutch on to what is happening in Punjab. But in the two states, 0 at the moment in Delhi and just 0 to 2 in Punjab.
True. I think since 2022, when AAP had started getting some national traction, in polls, it has been coming down. I think the central government took a very calculated risk in arresting Arvind Kejriwal. This was a calculated risk to politically finish off AAP. And if this happens, that in Delhi and in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party doesn't score, then it's on a downhill.
But there's another thing that we see in the data for Punjab, which is just how the BJP's vote share cutting across communities has actually gone up. This is the first time the BJP is fighting by itself. Amongst the Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10% to 21. Amongst the Mazhabi Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 13% to 20. Amongst the Hindu Dalits, it's gone up by 20% to 32. Amongst the Hindu OBCs, it's now at 37, that's up 20. Amongst the Sikh general community, in our poll, the BJP's picked up almost 3 out of 10 votes, 27, that's up 13% from the last time. Amongst the Jat Sikhs, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10. Amongst the Hindu overall, the general, the BJP's vote share is up 31% from the last time at 45. So what that essentially shows is that the BJP in this poll very quickly has been able to spread across where, because they had an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, it didn't, and they've poached. Rajat, they've poached from wherever they could. They've brought leaders in, and it seems to have paid some...
I'll get both of you. Rajat first, then Shankar.
The Arun Jaitley model of sticking with SAD no matter what has, because of his unfortunate demise, and then BJP having that confidence to actually come out of that formula, has shed the baggage of the Akali Dal permanently. BJP was always said, and a lot of its grassroots organization people used to say that you have that potential to grow into at least 4 or 5 parliamentary seats and actually be a substantial player in the assembly election. That is now coming to fruition. And I think this, given the numbers, Akali will stare at its further fall, and you might see that BJP will start occupying some level of an opposition vote, which Aam Aadmi Party becomes a lame duck with this vote
Shankar.
share.
We have to recognize one thing. If these numbers are right, we might have to sort of accept that the halo that Aam Aadmi Party painted around its own head 10 years back has completely worn off, that a party which was born against corruption, that its leader is arrested for corruption, I think shows the completion of the cycle of karma.
How do you see that, Preeti? Is this an election which the Aam... If these are the numbers, where does the Aam go from here?
The way I see it is, in Delhi, yes, if it is 7 to the BJP, it is a referendum on the leadership, especially on the sympathy vote Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. In Punjab, I'd actually think it's terrible candidate selection, Rajdeep, where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. If you speak with the cadre, you can hear it from them that the candidates were not selected aptly and they should have maybe applied themselves better.
Okay, so we're joined at this time by Pratap Singh Bajwa, who heads the Congress in Punjab. Bajwa ji, Sat Sri Akal, welcome. It's good to have you with us. Now, the good news is that you seem to largely be holding on to where you were in terms of your tally from the last time. The bad news from your perspective is that the BJP seems to have found a foothold in Punjab. 2 to 4 seats is what we're predicting, and cutting across communities, the BJP's vote share has gone up quite substantially. Now, the Congress and the others have been trying to say that the BJP is unpopular, that the Prime Minister is unpopular in Punjab. Our post-poll study from Punjab seems to suggest their vote share has gone up everywhere. You're ahead, no doubt, but the BJP has also made some inroads, so that whole narrative seems to have kind of come apart in this poll.
I can't see you.
Don't worry about seeing us, just tell us the answer. What do you think? Don't worry about whether you can see us or not. We're on live links, don't stress about that. But your sense of the BJP making some inroads while you're holding on. The AAP has crashed from its assembly tally. 42% is what they had in the assembly. They're at 18% now. And the Congress is holding up and the Akalis haven't gained much. The BJP's vote share seems to have gone up.
Yeah, you are right. But Rahul, couple of weeks earlier, even almost a month and a half earlier, I was in a program with you and I predicted that very time. And you had put in a kind of a thing with me that the BJP is going to do very well. I told you they won't win even a single seat. And I told you we can have a bet on it. And I hope you are agreeing with that. Obviously, see,
survey,
this I must...
Bajwa Saab, that's the surprise. Our survey is showing 2-4 for the BJP and 2-3 for the Akalis. It's actually the Aam Aadmi Party which is getting wiped out at the moment. That's the surprise from our poll, which might be good news for you, since you have a huge problem with the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, I have a huge problem. The whole of the cadre has a huge problem with them. If the people of Punjab have done this, they have done the right thing. But one thing is for sure, I can again bet with you, Rajdeep. There's just 3 more days. BJP will not win a single. Akalis may win one.
But
Akalis may win just one. BJP will not even win a single. They are performing well. Their vote bank is going up because a certain section has voted on the name of Ram Mandir. If they are going to stick with them in the next elections, there's a big question mark.
But, sir, can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah, go ahead, Preeti. Preeti, why don't you go ahead? 1 minute, sir. Please take
In hindsight, if these numbers hold true and you've given a BJP an in Punjab, shouldn't, in hindsight, have the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party fought this election together like you did in Delhi?
Do you think we should have closed our shop?
No, I'm asking you, sir. It could have at least augured well in terms of numbers.
No, forget about these numbers. We are not concerned. The thing is, there are around 60% of, I told you, the votes over there, which will not go towards either the Akalis. It's a secular vote. That secular vote is neither going towards the Akalis or the BJP. This number, what you are telling me, how much of percentage has they gone up? BJP? 26%.
So BJP, as per our poll, has gone up to as high as 26%. That's the worrying sign for your party. You don't believe that?
What implication does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab? If this is how they get hammered, their vote share at only 18%, the Congress at 31%, you're down from the 40 you had last time. The BJP's vote share going up 16% to 26%. What implications does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab, sir?
See, I don't agree with these figures. Akalis are not at 20. Akalis will not cross 50%. And BJP will not cross 20. So already there's an 11% excessive vote to both these parties. I don't agree at all. So, wait for the 4th. I am telling you, I promise you one thing. Akalis maximum can win one. BJP is not winning even a single seat. Their vote margin will not go up more than 20. I am for sure.
Sir, we thought you'd say thank you for showing us that we are doing so well. In Punjab, we seem to be doing better than elsewhere in the country. Bajwa Sahab would have said thank you, India, today. तुसी तो सारे पोल को ही खराब किए जा रहे हो. Whatever we are saying, you're saying the opposite.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Bajwa Sahab, we'll meet you on Tuesday.
I'll wait for you and just note down my numbers. Just note down. BJP is not winning a single. Akalis can win one. BJP will not go above 20. Akalis will not go above 50. And that 11% number, that is going to other parties. That could be a couple of more percentage for the Congress and could be 1 or 2 or 3% more for the AAP.
We're joined at this time by Pratap Singh Bajwa, who heads the Congress in Punjab. Bajwa ji, Sat Sri Akal, welcome. It's good to have you with us. Now, the good news is that you seem to largely be holding on to where you were in terms of your tally from the last time. The bad news from your perspective is that the BJP seems to have found a foothold in Punjab. 2 to 4 seats is what we're predicting, and cutting across communities, the BJP's vote share has gone up quite substantially. Now, the Congress and the others have been trying to say that the BJP is unpopular, that the Prime Minister is unpopular in Punjab. Our post-poll study from Punjab seems to suggest their vote share has gone up everywhere. You're ahead, no doubt, but the BJP has also made some inroads, so that whole narrative seems to have kind of come apart in this poll.
I can't see you.
You don't worry about seeing us, just tell us the answer. What do you think? Don't worry about whether you can see us or not. We're on live links, don't stress about that. But your sense of the BJP making some inroads while you're holding on, the AAP has crashed from its assembly tally. 42% is what they had in the assembly. They're at 18% now. And the Congress is holding up and the Akalis haven't gained much. The BJP's vote share seems to have gone up.
Yeah, you're right. But Rahul, couple of weeks earlier, even almost a month and a half earlier, I was in a program with you and I predicted that very time. And you had put in a kind of a thing with me that the BJP is going to do very well. I told you they won't win even a single seat. And I told you we can have a bet on it. And I hope you are agreeing with that. Obviously,
no,
see,
survey,
this I must...
Bajwa Saab, that's the surprise. Our survey is showing 2-4 for the BJP and 2-3 for the Akalis. It's actually the Aam Aadmi Party which is getting wiped out at the moment. That's the surprise from our poll, which might be good news for you, since you have a huge problem with the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, I have a huge problem. The whole of the cadre has a huge problem with them. If the people of Punjab have done this, they have done the right thing. But one thing is for sure, I can again bet with you, Rajdeep. There's just 3 more days. BJP will not win a single. Akalis may win one.
But
Akalis may win just one. BJP will not even win a single. They are performing well. Their vote bank is going up because a certain section has voted on the name of Ram Mandir. If they are going to stick with them in the next elections, there's a big question mark. Because
but, sir, can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah, go ahead, Preeti. Preeti, why don't you go ahead? No, 1 minute, sir. Please take
In hindsight, if these numbers hold true and you've given a BJP an in Punjab, shouldn't, in hindsight, have the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party for this election together like you did in Delhi?
Do you think we should have closed our shop?
No, I'm asking you, sir. It could have at least augured well in terms of numbers.
No, forget about these numbers. We are not concerned. The thing is, there are around 60% of, I told you, the votes over there, which will not go towards either the Akalis. It's a secular vote. It's that secular vote is neither going towards the Akalis or the BJP. This number, what you are telling me, how much of percentage has they gone up, BJP? 26%.
So BJP, as per our poll, has gone up to as high as 26%. That's the worrying sign for your party.
What implication does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab? If this is how they get hammered, their vote share at only 18%, the Congress at 31%, you're down from the 40 you had last time. The BJP's vote share going up 16% to 26. What implications does this have for the Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab, sir?
See, I don't agree with these figures. Akalis are not at 20. Akalis will not cross 15%. And BJP will not cross 20. So already there's an 11% excessive vote to both these parties. I don't agree at all. So, wait for the 4th. I am telling you, I promise you one thing. Akalis maximum can win one. BJP is not winning even a single seat. Their vote margin will not go up more than 20. I am for sure.
We thought you'd say thank you for showing us that we are doing so well. In Punjab, we seem to be doing better than elsewhere in the country. Bajwa Saab would have said, thank you, India, today. तुसी तो सारे पोल को ही खराब किए जा रहे हो. Whatever we are saying, you're saying the opposite.
Let's move on. Bajwa Saab, we'll meet you on Tuesday.
I'll wait for you and just note down my numbers. Just note down. BJP is not winning a single. Akalis can win one. BJP will not go above 20. Akalis will not go above 50. And that 11% number, that is going to other parties. That could be a couple of more percentage for the Congress and could be 1 or 2 or 3% more for the AAP.
Let's turn from there to a fascinating state of Punjab, because this is a state, perhaps the only state in the country, where we have a quadrangular fight. 4 parties, each of whom at different times have dominated, well, the BJP in the center, but the other 3 in Punjab, all of them were fighting independently. How is Punjab voting? What is the Axis My India poll saying for the battleground state of Punjab? Take a look at these numbers at the moment. There is the Punjab farmer coming in. The BJP getting 26%. Impressive considering where the BJP was when they were a junior partner to the Akalis. The Congress 31%. AAP 18%, and this is a turnaround. Remember here, both the AAP and the Congress are fighting each other. AAP won 92 out of 117 seats in the Vidhan Sabha just a couple of years ago. That has changed. The Congress has dominated the AAP in their direct fight, in a way, in Punjab. How is this translating into seats? Where is that tractor now headed in Punjab? Well, the tractor is headed in the direction of the Congress. The Congress party has struggled in several parts of the country, but not so much in Punjab. 13 seats, Congress leading in 7 to 9, AAP 0 to 2, BJP 2 to 4. So maybe in some of the cities in particular, in Hoshiarpur, Gurdaspur, maybe possibly Ludhiana, there is a possible consolidation of the Hindu voter behind the BJP. But the real message here is for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. Dominated it 2 years ago and now struggling. This is a real turnaround, Rahul Verma. I mean, the Aam Aadmi Party, much like the Congress, is having a very bad day in the office. The Congress can at least clutch on to what is happening in Punjab. But in the two states, 0 at the moment in Delhi and just 0 to 2 in Punjab.
True. I think since 2022, when AAP had started getting some national traction, in polls, it has been coming down. I think the central government took a very calculated risk in arresting Arvind Kejriwal. This was a calculated risk to politically finish off AAP. And if this happens, that in Delhi and in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party doesn't score, then it's on a downhill.
But there's another thing that we see in the data for Punjab, which is just how the BJP's vote share cutting across communities has actually gone up. This is the first time the BJP is fighting by itself. Amongst the Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10% to 21. Amongst the Mazhabi Sikh Dalits, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 13% to 20. Amongst the Hindu Dalits, it's gone up by 20% to 32. Amongst the Hindu OBCs, it's now at 37, that's up 20. Amongst the Sikh general community, in our poll, the BJP's picked up almost 3 out of 10 votes, 27, that's up 13% from the last time. Amongst the Jat Sikhs, the BJP's vote share has gone up by 10. Amongst the Hindu overall, the general, the BJP's vote share is up 31% from the last time at 45. So what that essentially shows is that the BJP in this poll very quickly has been able to spread across where, because they had an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party, it didn't, and they've poached. Rajat, they've poached from wherever they could. They've brought leaders in, and it seems to have paid some...
I'll get both of you. Rajat first, then Shankar.
You know, the Arun Jaitley model of sticking with SAD no matter what has, because of his unfortunate demise, and then BJP having that confidence to actually come out of that formula, has shed the baggage of the Akali Dal permanently. BJP was always said, and a lot of its grassroots organization people used to say that you have that potential to grow into at least 4 or 5 parliamentary seats and actually be a substantial player in the assembly election. That is now coming to fruition. And I think this, given the numbers, Akali will stare at its further fall, and you might see that BJP will start occupying some level of an opposition vote, which Aam Aadmi Party becomes a lame duck with this vote
Shankar.
share.
We have to recognize one thing. If these numbers are right, we might have to sort of accept that the halo that Aam Aadmi Party painted around its own head 10 years back has completely worn off, that a party which was born against corruption, that its leader is arrested for corruption, I think shows the completion of the cycle of karma.
How do you see that, Preeti? Is this an election which the Aam... If these are the numbers, where does the Aam go from here?
You know, okay, the way I see it is, in Delhi, yes, if it is 7 to the BJP, it is a referendum on the leadership, especially on the sympathy vote Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. In Punjab, I'd actually think it's terrible candidate selection, Rajdeep, where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. If you speak with the cadre, you can hear it from them that the candidates were not selected aptly and they should have maybe applied themselves better.
Let's go through Haryana first. Haryana party-wise and seat share at the moment. Remember, this was a state which last time was swept. 10 seats out of 10 went to the NDA. This time, in Haryana, projected vote share, BJP 48%, Congress 40%, which is closer than last time, because remember, AAP is also getting 4%. So if you add the numbers of Congress and AAP, and they were in coalition, AAP contesting one seat of Kurukshetra, 44, the margin has come down. Last time, the BJP alone had almost 60% of the vote share. Huge difference between 2019 in terms of vote share. But what about seats? At the end of the day, first past the post, you need to win seats. And this is what our poll is showing at the moment. BJP 6 to 8 out of 10. Congress 2 to 4. AAP not winning. JJP not winning. We've got an expert here in Preeti who tracks her home state very closely. Preeti, are you surprised with this? 2 to 4, again, much like Bihar, Jharkhand, India alliance, getting a bit of crumbs, but not getting the major chunk of the seats.
No, I'm not surprised, because my number itself was about 2 or 3 for the Congress and the alliance there. What's interesting is if you look at the fine print, the INLD, so the percentage it gets is practically taking that percentage away from the India alliance, which is the Aam Aadmi Party Congress combined in the state of Haryana. But, 3 is what I was looking at. Primarily the reason is, Rajdeep, that the Prime Minister is still widely popular where Haryana is concerned. Now, in the next 3 months, when there will be state election, you will see this turn. Because then you will see the anti-incumbency is very strong, and you will see possibly a big shot for the Congress to come in. But this time around, the main reason is the Prime Minister remains very, very popular. However, there have been issues in terms of the farm protest, the Agniveer, or also the sheer fact on that whole GT Karnar belt, which had voted for the BJP.
The story of Haryana lies in the community-wise breakup. If you look at the Jat consolidation, 61% of the Jats said they voted for the Congress and in that one seat, the AAP, which is 20% up from the last time. So massive Jat consolidation in favor of the Congress in Haryana. If you look at the Dalits, 23% up from the last time. 51% of the Dalits said they voted for the Congress. That's 23% up from the last time. If you look also at the Jat Sikhs, 45% of the Jat Sikhs said they voted for the India Alliance. That's 21% up from the last time. Amongst the Gujars, amongst the Sainis, it's a little bit up, but not by very much. Amongst the OBCs, for example, the Congress is up 23% from the last time at 35%. The BJP is still at 60%. But the point that I'm making is, if you go community by community, the Congress has shown that its vote share in Haryana is going up. What does this mean, Pradeep Gupta, for the assembly elections in the state?
Assembly elections are generally, fought on a different dynamics altogether, and particularly in case of Haryana, where the Jat population is substantial, 30% about. So it is a Jat versus non-Jat contest going to be there, even now, even then, in after
Rahul Verma?
So 2 points. One, I think BJP is from 2019, it got lesser vote shares in assembly elections, and this would happen even now. Their vote shares have come down substantially. And second, the reason there is a Jat consolidation happening, because both INLD and JJP has collapsed. The combined vote share of INLD and JJP is now just 5%.
Actually the story in a way, out of all the states is simply this. There are 3 states where the BJP's vote share is over 55%. Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat. There the 2019 trend has stayed on. In all the other states of North India, the BJP has not got the bump factor, what we call the Balakot bump. Some called it the Balakot bump. What you've seen in some of these states is what I would call a normal election, where you're having caste consolidation taking place, shifting caste alignments. You're seeing, the Jats in Haryana, you're seeing within the Meenas in Rajasthan, you're seeing change. But because there is the Modi factor, and we don't know how much that gives you. It gives you 5%, it gives you 10% in some states. Haryana will be competitive. What is very clear from these numbers, Haryana Vidhan Sabha will be an extremely competitive election.
Rajdeep, the Modi factor is 13%. We have a very specific answer, state by state. If you ask how many people voted the way that they did for the BJP, you have a specific number. In Haryana, amongst the BJP voters, it's 13%. As an overall of all the voters who voted, 6% said they voted the way they did. because of Prime Minister Modi himself.
So, see, that's what I was saying, that the Prime Minister is widely popular. The fine print of the cast is also interesting, Rajdeep, because for the first time, if you've seen a rise in the Dalit vote, and that's interesting because the Chamars, which are the Jatas, have always voted for the Congress. The the Chamars are the ones, and this time that number has risen.
Because
this is the first for
sure,
the Congress.
because you take away the Modi factor, you take away that 6%, and the BJP goes below the Congress AAP number.
Absolutely.
So that's why, you see, the challenge is, will the Congress and AAP remain together in a Haryana Assembly election? If they do, they may have half a chance. Let's give you our hot seat, our cool hot seat for Haryana. It's a fascinating one because it's got Naveen Jindal, who shifted, remember, from the Congress, has won on a Congress ticket twice before, and he was contesting in Kurukshetra against Sushil Gupta of the Aam Aadmi Party. And we are told it's a close fight. Now, these are the close fights that the opposition needs to win if they have any chance in this election.
This is also a seat where the third party is Abhay Chautala from the INLD.
That's right.
So even if it's that 3% that the INLD gets, a lot of that percentage comes in from this seat, which he's pulling away, which
That's
is the
right. So it makes that there wasn't a perfect alliance of the opposition in Kurukshetra. Now we come to the question we've been waiting for.
400 par ki nahi.
Ab ki baar 400 par. Now, 400 is a big figure to reach. We've seen it in cricket. Brian Lara was the first person to reach 400. Rajiv Gandhi, 1984, was the first to do it in a parliament election. When Narendra Modi said this in February, most people thought not happening, or maybe they thought it was happening for a while, and then suddenly it seemed to disappear off the headlines because the Congress responded and said 400 par means Samvidhan badal denge. But in the last couple of weeks, the BJP has gone back to that 400 par aggression. Is the Axis My India exit poll, and I emphasize this is an exit poll, we don't know what will happen on the 4th, but as of now, it is clearly showing a trend that the BJP and the NDA are dominating this election. One state to go, the state of Uttar Pradesh, India's most populous state, 80 seats on offer, a giant number of seats. And take a look at those numbers. The BJP at 46% of the vote in Uttar Pradesh. The Samajwadi Party in alliance with the Congress is 30%. The BSP, once the mighty force of Uttar Pradesh, down to single digits, just 8%. The Congress plus Samajwadi Party, 39%. Let me add that. 30% Samajwadi Party, 9% Congress. So 39%, which is reasonably high. But on the other side, the BJP, which was just near 50% last time, has only come down to 46. So we've seen a small dip in the vote share. But when you have a 7% gap, how does that translate into seats? The final seats today on the Axis My India exit poll, 80 seats on offer, BJP 64 to 67, Samajwadi Party 7 to 9, Congress 1 to 3, and the BSP, the elephant, has virtually come to a halt with 0 to 1. So you add the Samajwadi Party and Congress, they come to about 8 to 12 seats. It is domination by the BJP, and Rahul, this is virtually the same number of seats that they got last time, 62 of their own, 2 of the Apna Dal. So they are virtually in the same range. Last time they were taking on the SP, BSP. This time SP, Congress. The BJP has held its own in Uttar Pradesh. And take a look at the top band of Pradeep Gupta. He has gone for the 400 par. 361 to 401 is his range. Midpoint 381. India Alliance 131 to 166. So the midpoint for the India Alliance is about 149. Others 8 to 20. The others have got decimated in a way. Remember Jagan Mohan Reddy, Naveen Patnaik, who had not aligned with any party, they've got decimated. But that's the big story of this election at the moment as per the exit poll. The BJP is heading for its best ever individual performance, and we'll give you their specific numbers. But in alliance with the NDA, Rahul, they could touch or be very close to 400 par. We have to go to Uttarakhand, another hill state, beautiful state again. 5 seats on offer, remember, in the state of Uttarakhand. How is Uttarakhand shaping up? Take a look at the numbers for Uttarakhand as they stand at the moment. The BJP projected vote share here again 60%. Congress 35%. These are all the direct contest states. I come back to it. BJP, Congress, direct contest. BJP is sweeping all these states. Others 5%. How is this translating into seats? Remember, 5 seats on offer. Congress had a few heavyweights like their former Chief Minister Harish Rawat contesting. No contest. 5 BJP, none to the Congress. So across the parts where the BJP swept, we now have 5 such states to give you evidence: Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal, Uttarakhand, and also Delhi. So you've got states, irrespective, there's no Balakot, no Pulwama, and even so in these states, the BJP is scoring well over 50%, Rahul. There's a story there.
No, but it also suggests how a lot of people came back and said, oh, there's no Hawa, there's a silent election, people are unhappy with Modi. I mean, now, if this is the way the poll sets up, then what were these people doing? Who were they meeting? What hookah pani were they doing? Because the fact is that while the margins may come down in some seats, the BJP is still winning. And ultimately, that's what Rajat gave the BJP top leadership a lot of hope. They're saying, margin bahut hai, gap bahut hai. So it will appear that there is turbulence. But, when your flight is flying from one destination to another, there may be pockets of air turbulence. It doesn't mean that the plane's going to crash.
Absolutely right. I think the problem is that people have started living in their own bubbles. That YouTuber bubble that exists, people who are constantly reading the news being put out there as direct competition to actually a data-backed journalism, when you start living in that bubble, you're only hearing your voice. That echo chambers that are existing are actually convincing a lot of people, even within the Congress party, that is the alternate reality and the real reality. Look at post-election. They are not putting out any other number. They are putting out aggregate YouTube numbers are greater than the aggregate YouTube numbers of the BJP, clearly falling into a trap that they are only hearing each other out. And in that hearing, they are actually imagining that, our public rallies are getting all of these people and we are suddenly building up a narrative. And
speaking of YouTube numbers,
yeah.
In a political context, they are what they are. It doesn't matter as much. But at this moment, India Today Television's live YouTube concurrents are more than that of Republic World, CNN Network 18, Times Now, NDTV, Vion, First Post, NewsX, Crux, whatever that is, ANI News and Mirror Now put together. So if you look at the put together, sir, put together. I just did the maths. If you add up the live concurrents of all our competitors, Republic World, Network 18, Times Now, NDTV, Vion, First Post, NewsX, ANI, Mirror Now, and you look only at India Today Television, and there's only other one person who's demonstrated this kind of domination, which is Prime Minister Modi. Outside of that, there is no other scenario where you'll have a situation where one network has more people watching. Imagine, when Rajdeep was in another network, we had a tougher contest. When there were other people in other networks, it was a different situation. At this moment, it's a one TV network show. Complete one network show. India Today Television dominating the poll coverage. More live concurrents than all.
Should I crack a joke? Since you mentioned, you see what you did, India Today poached Rajdeep. You see, that's what you have to do. You moved me from one channel to the other.
Congress should do that. Switch it on to look at you, to look at your various expressions.
One of the things that is very interesting, 440 odd candidates of the BJP. Guess how many of them have moved from other parties to the BJP in the last 10 years? I was staggered by the number.
25%.
Sorry?
25%.
25%. Over 100 candidates. This is one of the staggering facts. Over 100 candidates of the BJP contesting this election were in another party in the last 10 years and have moved to the BJP. So the moral of the story, if you can't beat them, try and join them.
No, but, we're very, very thankful. On behalf of every single person who works at the India Today network, we want to thank all of you who are watching at this time. This is history of a different kind being scripted. To have more live concurrents than all other competitor networks put together, is very, very significant. It means a lot to us. So we're very thankful on behalf of our network for your time, for your trust, for your faith. Thank you so much, and we hope that we can keep this going over the next few days.
Okay, hot seat, cool air is what I'm told. I must say very clearly, hot seat, cool air is in a cool place where we all should be. It's Pauri Garhwal. That's where we should all be instead of in Delhi at 49 degrees Celsius. And Anil Balooni, the BJP's media in charge, a former journalist, is the one who at the moment appears to be winning his debut election against Ganesh Godial. So Anil Baluni has plenty of reason to smile, and he is an important figure because he is the one who often interacts between journalists and the BJP party. So Anil Baluni, one of the many 134 new faces that the BJP is given tickets to, he is one of them. Remember these two factors: more than 100 tickets given to those who've switched parties over the last 10 years and 134 new faces there like Anil Baluni. Let's move on to Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh has been in the news for all kinds of reasons in this election. Kangana Ranaut contesting there from Mandi, Anand Sharma going back to contesting a Lok Sabha election from Kangra. But let's look at the numbers. 4 seats on offer. The BJP had swept all 4 and had got the biggest vote that they got in any state in northern India, 68% last time. They're down to 64, but that's still huge. 64%, much like in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, these are the BJP heartland states. Remember, in a state where they lost the assembly just 15 months ago. Congress down to 34%, others are 2%. How does this translate into seats? When you've got a 30% gap, there can only be one winner in a state like Himachal. And that winner is the BJP, all four. So it appears that my friend Rahul Kanwal's friend, Kangana Ranaut, could actually be winning an election.
But there's a larger meaning.
Rahul is blushing.
No, I'm not blushing.
He's blushing all over. He was the first to discover her. I was told you're the first mainline anchor to interview Kangana all those years ago.
This is all just Rajdeep trying to get me into trouble. We'll leave that. We wish all candidates well, including Kangana Ranaut and Vikramaditya Singh. Just let Rajdeep's outswinging ball just go past safely to the keeper and not poke your bad at it. I mean, that's what we need to do.
But you know, again, this is the same thing, Rahul Verma, and I'll bring you in, Preeti, in a moment, because you've got a state election, which the Congress wins 16 months ago. And you now have a Lok Sabha where the BJP sweeps. So the Indian voter seems to have decided, Modi for Delhi, I can live with whoever with a Sukhu in Shimla.
So I think there are two things happening. First, in some states, BJP chief ministers were not, did not provide good governance, and they paid a price for it. It was Karnataka there, and I think even Madhya Pradesh. Second, of course, Modi pulls some of the votes. But in Himachal, you have to also remember, while seat gap was large, vote gap between Congress and BJP was just 1%.
Sure.
Right?
But yes, now it's 30%.
Yeah.
Preeti, you want to make a quick point and then I'll get you Rashid.
There are 6 Vidhan Sabha assembly seats also going to vote at the same time.
That's right.
It could be very possible that by the end of June, the government might shift where Himachal is concerned.
Yes, Rashid, more bad news for the Congress party. How is the Congress party going to deal with all these losing these direct fights with the BJP? Is there some problem? Will there be introspection if these numbers hold, Rashid?
Absolutely. But this is also very surprising that Prime Minister Modi has made no inroads in Punjab in 2014 or 19, and suddenly there is a Modi factor in Punjab. So this, survey, while I am not contesting, survey findings, some of the things are very because the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have 67% of vote share. Suddenly there is a decline of 18% vote share. On what grounds? Coming back to Himachal, there are by-elections are going on, as Preeti was saying, and this has a bearing. If Congress loses those, even 2 out of the 6 seats, there will be change of the fall of government. And therefore, the stakes are very high for Congress, and there are a couple of seats in Himachal where there will be the fierce contest. What we are seeing, Rajdeep, wherever there is, we're talking about close contest, fair contest, it is going in favor of BJP.
Okay, now, by popular demand of Rahul Kanwal, we are coming to the cool hot seat of Mandi. He wanted to know what is the status of Kangana Ranaut in this election. He's smiling away, blushing away. Kangana Ranaut versus Vikramaditya Singh. Tough contest. Vikramaditya Singh, minister, son of Veerbhadra Singh. So someone who's had who's been a entrenched leader. Along comes Kangana Ranaut and appears at the moment, as per our survey, to be winning the seat. I mean, the BJP has changed 134 candidates, sitting candidates. Kangana is one of them. Shankar, that seems to suggest that the BJP realized local anti-incumbency. Let's bring in new faces. If some of them have glamour, so much the better.
I think one of the points that we missed out on the Himachal story is just a few weeks back, they couldn't get their Rajya Sabha candidate elected.
Yes.
And they are still figuring out who messed it up, whether it was the chief minister or the other.
Welcome back. You're watching our fast and furious coverage of the India Today Access My India post-poll study. I want to come now to the battleground state of Bihar, where questions have been asked about whether the JDU would prove to be the Kamzor Khadi in the NDA alliance. Will Tejaswi Yadav be able to lead the India alliance to a good performance in Bihar? Let's try and take you through what the India Today Access My India post-poll study shows. What you're seeing on your screen are the vote share numbers. The Congress predicted to back 10% of the vote share, the RJD 24%, the JDU 19%, and the BJP 21%. Let's see how this converts into votes. Coming up on your screen now, for the first time, the India Today Access My India prediction for Bihar. 9 to 11 seats for the Janata Dal United, 13 to 15 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Congress between 1 and 2, and the RJD between 6 and 7. So all those who thought that there would be a big backlash or that the JDU would prove to be the weak link, our polls suggest that's not the case. As I go across communities, whether you look at the Paswans, the Chamars, the tribals, the Yadavs, largely the NDA has the advantage. There's been a big consolidation of the Yadav votes, 82% of the Yadav votes in favor of the RJD alliance. That's up 24% from the last time. So big Yadav consolidation. Also a consolidation of the Muslim vote, 86% of the Muslims voting for the RJD alliance in Bihar. That's up 16% from the last time. But everywhere else, whether it's the Kurmis or the OBCs, the Banyas, Brahmins, Rajputs, quite naturally, Rajdeep, apart from the Muslims and the Yadavs, where there is extreme consolidation, late 80s, in the other communities, you've got the NDA doing very well, and JDU hasn't proven to be the Kamzor Khadi.
Yes and no, Rahul, because when you look at the big picture, remember Bihar was swept by the NDA in 2019. They won 39 out of the 40 seats. Just one seat was where they lost out. And they had a huge edge of 23%. How has that changed in this exit poll? Take a look. NDA has come down marginally, 8%, substantially, let me say, to 48%. India Alliance has grown by 15%. So just as the BJP has grown in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, here you've got the India Alliance going up by 15%, NDA down by 8%, others are 7%. Now look at the seats. Where does this translate into seats at the moment now? In this, NDA 29 to 33, so still dominant, but the India Alliance 7 to 10. So unlike Karnataka, where the India Alliance had bad news, slightly better news coming in from the state of Bihar. It may not be translating at the moment, Rahul, into the kind of seats they may have hoped for, but 7 to 10 compared to where they were represents a significant rise, others 0 to 2.
This is the point that we were making, that this is the Kante ki takkar, where the RJD Congress vote share does go up, no doubt about it, and the NDA vote share does come down, but the margin is so much that in the end it doesn't look like a Kante ki takkar. Because in terms of seats, the NDA is still way in front. Because Rajdeep, remember, there was a sense that the JDU could fragment their vote share. Nitish Kumar wasn't all there. This seems to suggest that the NDA is still doing quite well in Bihar.
But it comes down. You see, you have to look at it in two ways. NDA is down in Bihar by about 8 seats.
And they're up in states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
They're up in states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So they are making up some of those losses. But this is, remember, the first major, in a way, Hindi heartland state that we've looked at. And in the first major Hindi heartland state, it's not a wipeout like 2019. 2019 was a wipeout. What we are seeing in Bihar is a gradual emergence potentially, and you mentioned some of those castes, coming together more strongly, representing possibly hope for Tejaswi Yadav, not so much in a Lok Sabha election where there is an overwhelming Modi factor, but certainly in a Vidhan Sabha election. Let me give you...
How, Rajdeep, if you go community by community, apart from the massive surge in the Yadav and the Muslim vote, their hope was that they'll be able to win some of the OBC vote. The data doesn't seem to be suggesting that. They're still slipping and the NDA is gaining.
What I think is the strength of Tejaswi also remains partly his weakness. They remain identified with the MY politics. He hasn't been able to completely take it out of that. But still, it's a vote share up. But Interestingly, the hot seat. What is it called? The cool hot seat at the moment. We all need something to cool us down. Let's take a look at the hot seat of Bihar at the moment. Remember, this is a state with lots of hot seats, lots of kaate ki takkar, and we are looking at Purnia, where my old friend Pappu Yadav is in a close fight. Now, here is someone, Rahul, who could have easily been the candidate of the India Alliance. Lalu Prasad, old animosities with Pappu, doesn't like any other Yadav to rise, refused to give him a ticket. Good old Pappu, whose wife is a Congress MP of the past, is a Rajya Sabha MP, decides to contest on his own, and he's got a chance. Now, this is a self-goal. If Pappu wins, it is a self-goal because he would have campaigned for you also.
It's also for the same reason that Kanhaiya Kumar wasn't allowed to contest from being
That's right. You see, Lalu Prasad,
you're trying to protect your son.
You see, Lalu Prasad doesn't like any other rival Yadav leader emerging for the last 20-25 years. It's been his big weakness.
Let's take a look at what's happening in the battleground seat of Patliputra. Here, Misa Bharti, daughter of Lalu Yadav, is up against Ram Kirpal Yadav, who at one time was the right-hand man of Lalu Yadav. He's won there the last 2 times. He had 5 lakh votes last time, 47% vote share. According to the India Today Access My India, this hot seat, can we just have that on our screen to try and explain to our viewers what's happening in Patliputra? In Patliputra, it's Misa Bharti versus Ram Kirpal Yadav. And we'll just have the numbers out in a moment. The Pankha is not giving any hawa, right, Rajdeep? You know, it's so tight in Patliputra, the Pankha is saying, give me some time before I turn the switch on. We'll have the Patliputra numbers out for you in just a moment.
Rahul, also, how's Chirag Paswan doing?
In Hajipur.
Those five
Samrat Chaudhary joins us. Samrat Chaudhary is the Deputy Chief Minister of the NDA government in Bihar. From the Bharatiya Janata Party, also the state chief. Samrat bhai, स्वागत है आपका. Numbers दिख रहे हैं, इनको देखने के 2 तरीके हैं. एक तो ये कि आप काफी अच्छा कर रहे हैं, दूसरा तरीका ये कि पहले ऑलमोस्ट आपकी स्वीप थी, इस बार स्वीप नहीं है. इस दफा आरजेडी की भी कुछ सीटें कट के आ रही हैं. तो बिहार के अब तक के इंडिया टुडे एक्सेस में इंडिया के जो नतीजे हैं, सम्राट चौधरी, आप उसको कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए, मैं राहुल जी इसका स्वागत करता हूं कि आपने जो किया है उससे मैं डिफर नहीं करता हूं, लेकिन एक चीज स्पष्ट रही है, एनडीए ये फिर 39 और 40 पे ही रहेगा. आप समझिए बिहार की जो स्थिति है उसमें कोई गेन इंडिया गठबंधन करेगा ये कहीं से दिखता नहीं है. ठीक है, कुछ सीटें हमारी नेक टू नेक फाइट हो सकती है, लेकिन लालू प्रसाद जी के आने के बाद बिहार की राजनीति में कोई बड़ा बदलाव नहीं हुआ है. इसलिए आप जो दिखा रहे हैं, मैं उससे, क्योंकि आपका सर्वे का काम आपके चैनल्स के माध्यम से हुए हैं, लेकिन एकदम श्योर रहिए, जब 4 तारीख को आपके ईवीएम खुलेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि हम 40 की 40 सीट इस बार जीतेंगे.
पर आप मानते हैं कि सम्राट जी, कंपेयर टू 2019 स्थिति थोड़ी बदली है?